What if I told you that one of the biggest music stars on the planet almost gave up on a song that would later change her life forever? And what if that same song was rejected by one of the most respected songwriters in Nashville? At the 2026 Songwriters Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Taylor Swift revealed a deeply personal story that left the audience stunned. From screaming at a Knicks game the night before, to opening up about heartbreak, criticism, self-doubt, and the secret behind writing Love Story. This wasn't just another acceptance speech. It was a masterclass in creativity, perseverance, and trusting your instincts when nobody else does. And by the end of her speech, Taylor delivered a message that every dreamer, creator, and artist needs to hear. Let's dive in. Taylor Swift stepped onto the stage with a noticeably raspy voice. Before even beginning her speech, she laughed and admitted exactly why. The night before, she had attended a New York Knicks game and, according to her, screamed for practically the entire game. Then she arrived at the Hall of Fame ceremony and ended up screaming all over again because of the incredible performances she witnessed. The audience loved the honesty. But what followed was far more powerful than anyone expected. Taylor began by thanking legendary filmmaker Steven Spielberg, who introduced her that evening. She explained that Spielberg had unknowingly shaped her storytelling abilities for years. Watching his movies taught her something important. No matter what genre he explored, science fiction, drama, romance, fantasy, historical epics, he always committed fully to his imagination. That lesson stayed with her. Whenever she dreamed something up, she wanted to do everything possible to share it with the world. And that mindset would eventually become the foundation of her songwriting career. Then Taylor revealed a conversation that completely changed how she views life. When she invited Spielberg to present the award, she was surprised that he agreed despite having a major film releasing the very same night. Trying to give him an easy way out, she asked how he could possibly balance everything. That's when Spielberg's wife, Kate Capshaw, shared a sentence Taylor says she'll never forget. "Good and true things are easy." That simple phrase became the emotional center of her entire speech. Because when Taylor looked back on her 23-year career, the criticism, public scrutiny, industry battles, world tours, broken privacy, and endless challenges, one thing always felt easy: songwriting. Not because it wasn't hard work, not because it wasn't frustrating, but because it was instinctive. It was the one thing she never had to force. Taylor shared childhood stories about leaving Disney movies and immediately rewriting the songs in her head to make them about her own life. Even as a little girl, she couldn't help turning experiences into stories. Then everything changed when she learned 3 guitar chords at age 12. With those 3 chords, she wrote her first song. And suddenly, she discovered what she was meant to do. Taylor described spending countless hours writing lyrics, studying emotions, and becoming fascinated with human behavior. She wasn't just writing songs. She was learning how people think, love, hurt, and dream. But she made sure to acknowledge the people who sacrificed the most. Her family. When her passion for music became impossible to ignore, her parents made an extraordinary decision. They left Pennsylvania and moved their entire family to Nashville. Imagine that. Changing your whole life because your daughter believes she can become a songwriter. Taylor became emotional while talking about that sacrifice. She admitted that words, despite being her specialty, could never fully express her gratitude. Without her family, she said, none of this would have happened. In Nashville, Taylor immersed herself in the songwriting world. She secured a publishing deal as a teenager and began working with some of the industry's most respected writers. But she wasn't interested in taking shortcuts. She wanted to prove herself. Before every co-writing session, Taylor prepared obsessively. She stockpiled song ideas, lyrics, hooks, choruses, and melodies. Some songs were half-finished. Others were nearly complete. She arrived prepared because she never wanted anyone to think she expected success simply because she was young. And then came one of the most fascinating stories of the night. Taylor recalled meeting one of her songwriting heroes, Craig Wiseman. Nervous and excited, she brought several song ideas to the session. The first one she played was a song she believed was special, After hearing it, Craig politely admitted that he didn't really understand it. So they moved on to other ideas. Taylor didn't argue. She didn't get upset. She simply went home later that night and finished the song by herself. That song? Love Story. Yes. One of the biggest songs of her entire career. The song that launched her into global superstardom. The song millions of fans still sing today. And it almost never happened. The story drew huge applause from the audience. But Taylor wasn't telling it just to celebrate success. She was sharing a lesson. Trust your instincts. Especially in a world obsessed with data, analytics, algorithms, trends, and predictions. Taylor warned that creativity cannot always be measured. Sometimes the best ideas are the ones that only you can see. And if you don't trust yourself, nobody else will either. Later in the speech, Taylor turned her attention to young artists. Her advice was simple but powerful. Protect what you love. Because if you create something meaningful, criticism is inevitable. Someone will misunderstand it. Someone will hate it. Someone will twist your intentions. Someone will tell you it isn't good enough. And in today's online world, that criticism can come from anywhere. Taylor acknowledged that artists must remain sensitive enough to create meaningful work while becoming strong enough to survive public judgment. It's a difficult balance. But according to her, it's essential. One of the most memorable moments came when she referenced a quote from the television series Yellowstone. "You build something worth having, somebody's going to try to take it." Taylor explained that the quote wasn't just about property or success. It was about protecting your self-worth, your creativity, and your peace of mind. The audience erupted into applause because everyone understood exactly what she meant. Throughout her career, Taylor has experienced both extreme praise and intense criticism. Yet she revealed something important. The reason criticism doesn't destroy her anymore is because she knows where she stands with her own work. She knows what the songs mean. She knows why she wrote them. And that's enough. As her speech approached its conclusion, Taylor shifted focus toward the fans. The people who have spent decades connecting their lives to her music. She shared stories that clearly touched her deeply. Parents who listened to her songs with their children. Couples who chose Love Story as their song. Fans from different countries singing lyrics in their own accents. Parents who play Enchanted to calm their babies. Small moments. Ordinary moments. But moments that transform songs into lifelong memories. For Taylor, that connection is the true reward. Not awards. Not records. Not headlines. Connection. Because when a lyric reaches someone exactly when they need it, when a song becomes part of someone's life story, that's when all the work becomes worth it. And that's why songwriting has always felt easy. Finally, standing before the Songwriters Hall of Fame, Taylor reflected on her legacy. She acknowledged the countless writers who came before her, the legends who inspired her. And then she expressed sincere gratitude for being welcomed into their company. For Taylor Swift, the honor wasn't just about success. It was recognition of the thing she has loved most since she was a little girl rewriting Disney songs in the back seat of a car. Storytelling. And perhaps the biggest takeaway from her entire speech can be summed up in one sentence. Trust your instincts. Because the idea everyone doubts today might become the masterpiece that changes your life tomorrow. And for Taylor Swift, that masterpiece was called Love Story. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. What is your favorite Taylor Swift song, and why? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.